on this issue of the need for gun safety laws, we're not at any loss for good ideas. People have been having good ideas for decades on this issue.
Of course you guys aren't at a loss for ideas. You don't need to be a genius to come up with ways to restrict people's rights to the Second Amendment. Just do what you all have been doing for the last several decades. Wait for a tragedy involving kids that exploit this trauma so you can use their tears to push your anti-two-way agenda. The devil wrote that playbook a long time ago.
What we're at a loss is for people in Congress to have the courage to do something.
And what's with the whole not having the courage to do what? Infringe on the only constitutional right that says shall not be infringed? The members of Congress aren't there to do your bidding. You represent us, the people. This is America, not Venezuela, not Kamala Town. America. So we'll keep our Second Amendment rights if you don't mind. Good Lord, you're a political narcissist. Who raised you?
And you know, I'm going to tell you on this subject, we're not waiting for the worst tragedy, because we've seen the worst of tragedies, including what just happened this week, and seeing the heroism of a child who we now mourn his loss, his parents' only child. We're not waiting for tragedies, and we are not waiting for good.
You're not waiting for the worst of tragedies. You and your goofy anti-gun counterparts have been shamelessly exploiting every tragedy in this country since its inception. I wouldn't put it past you to fall off a bird scooter and blame it on the NRA and say, this is why we need more gun control. If your anti-gun message had any real merit or facts to back it, you wouldn't need to jump on every tragedy to try to give it any real validity. When the facts and the numbers aren't on your side, you do what every other vindictive girlfriend on the planet does. Exploit emotions. And it's getting old.
Universal background checks? Check. Really good idea. You might want to know if someone has been proven to be a danger to themselves or others before they can buy a lethal weapon.
Kamala, please stop with the universal background check talk. If I'm concerned about the person I'm selling a gun to, I'll simply tell the person I plan to sell the gun to that they'll have to go get a background check before I can sell it to them. I don't need your Trojan horse federal mandate to do something I already have the option to do. So kick rocks. First comes universal background checks. Then when it does nothing because criminals buy their guns illegally, they'll say, well, we need a registry to enforce it. Then when the registry doesn't work, because like we all know and have been studying and proven time and time again that criminals get their guns illegally, they'll say, well, that didn't work either, so now we're just gonna have to turn in all your guns and we're gonna use the registry to get them because we know exactly where they are. Congratulations. And I know this will happen because it happened in Australia, the UK, and Nazi Germany, and a bunch of other countries.
Specifically, for anyone who sells more than 5 guns a year, they will be required to perform background checks on the people they sell them to. And this will be the most comprehensive background check policy that has ever been had in our country thus far.
Kamala, how would you know if someone is selling more than 5 guns a year if they're not an FFL dealer and there's no universal background check coupled with a national gun registry to check it against? You're literally proving the point I made about universal background checks. You can't do it without a national gun registry. And you can't implement this kooky if you sell more than 5 guns a year law without a national registry. This is nothing more than a backdoor way of pushing for universal background checks again.
I am also prepared to say and to direct the ATF to remove and take away the licenses of gun dealers who fail to follow the law. And Jake, 90% of the guns that are associated with crime have been sold by 5% of the gun dealers. We need to take their licenses away.
Kamala, if you're a dealer and you don't follow the law, you already get your license revoked. Like, that's already a thing. You directing executive branches to do something it already does is just moronic redundancy. It's like giving a directive to all the cops to arrest people who break the law. Okay, Kamala, didn't know we could do that. Thanks.
Vote Trump 2020. Go Trump 2020. Vote Trump 2020.